Hi everyone, and welcome to Art with Anna's online tutorials number 2. And today we are painting this beautiful pineapple. What you'll need is some paints, and don't stress if you don't have these colours because you can mix them up. But I'm starting with these colours. So I've got yellow, orange, white, pink, green and blue. So they're the colours you need. If you don't have those colours, that is totally fine. You can mix these colours, and I'll let you know when I use these colours how to make them if you don't have them. So all you really need is red, blue, yellow and white. And you also need a card. So if you've got a plastic card, that's like a membership card, that's really going to be using this with our paints. So yeah, just grab one of them if you can. Plastic would be better than paper because the paper will end up getting really soggy. You can choose whatever colours you want. So the one I'm going to make today will probably not look like that colour wise because I'm going to mix up the colours a little bit. So pick what sort of colours you want. Do you want it sort of orangey background or a yellow background? I'm going to put some other colours in it too. And this is the most fun bit. This is using your card and spreading the paint down the page. So I'm going to start with my yellow and I'm going to put it over there, and I'm going to grab some orange. Just mix it up a bit. You might make it a little bit lighter, so I'm going to add the white. And I might add a little bit of pink. When you're happy with your colour, you can start spreading it down the page. And what's really cool is you get to see some of these other colours coming through, and so it starts making a blending effect. When you've finished your background, you can start maybe adding some other colours like I've done here. So here I added white and pink together, and while this is still wet, I sort of do some marks. So it's up to you where you want to make your marks. I'm going to grab some bit more white and a bit of pink. Mix it in, and I might mix it in with that colour that I was sort of making so it blends in together. And then here I've sort of tried to create the shadow of the pineapple. So if you make some darker marks here just on your left hand side. Okay, so with that I added a little bit of blue, a little bit of white, in with those colours again, and just sort of went to the side like that, and then just chose some other colours. If you've got some colours on your card that is mixing in with the colour that you want, you don't want it, just scrape it off on your paint palette. So when you've finished your background, we're just going to allow it to dry, so it'll probably take about 5 to 10 minutes. So step away from it, grab yourself a drink or a snack, and then we're going to do the pineapple. Once it's dry, you will need a medium-sized brush, about that size. If you've got a big one, that's fine, whatever you have at home. And then we're just going to outline the pineapple and sort of just outline where the top of the pineapple is going to go as well. So it's just as a guide, and then we're going to use a palette knife or just a knife at home if you have one. So that bit comes later. So first of all, paintbrush. The colours I used were yellow, and you can pale up the yellow if you want, so add a little bit of white to it if you want to make it a little bit darker. You could add a bit of orange to it. It's totally up to you. You could make a totally different coloured pineapple. You have creative license. The only tip I'm going to give is that your pineapple needs to stand out from the background, otherwise it will get lost in the background. So just make sure it's a colour that contrasts. If you're following me, I'm going to go with yellow, orange, and I'm going to add a little bit of white. Okay, and then when you've got your colour, you can start outlining your pineapple. So it's about a third of the top of the pineapple is about a third of the way down your page. There. And I'm just going to do a bit of an oval shape. And with your shadow bit here, it just needs to sit a little bit on top. And then this is where you need your palette knife. So I don't have one, so I have been creative and I'm going to use just a normal knife, cutlery knife. And what I'm going to do is you'll need quite a lot of paint on your knife. You're just going to grab some paint on your knife, quite a bit, like that. And you're just going to scrape the inside of your pineapple and you're going to cover it like that. So as you can see, it creates texture for your pineapple. And also, if you're seeing your background through your pineapple, so you could just use your paintbrush to colour it in first and then wait for that to dry and then put the palette knife marks on top. And then when you're happy with it, you can leave it to dry and then we can add some more palette marks if you want. Okay, so grab yourself a tea or coffee and I'll see you back in a sec. Welcome back. So your pineapple should be dry by now. You can add a few more layers of texture on the top if you'd like. So I'm just going to add a little bit of lighter yellow on the top, doing the same thing. As you can see here on this one, I've added a little bit of light around this side, so you can do that too. You just need to add a little bit of white to the colour that you're using and go down and around with your knife. We're going to outline where the top of our pineapple is going to go. So just grab your paintbrush and we're just going to go out from the top. So I've decided to use green for the top of my pineapple. So that I'm just going to mix yellow and blue together. Use your palette knife to go from the top of the pineapple out. And when you're happy with that, we're going to do the parts of the pineapple to give it some of its detail. So what I've used is I used the base colour of the pineapple and I just added a bit of white to make it a lighter colour so it stands out from the pineapple. So if you've got some of that colour left, just add white. If you don't, then just make up a new batch and make sure whatever colour you put on top to make the diamonds is a lighter colour. So with your paintbrush, you're just going to make these sort of diamond shapes. So they go across the pineapple in this sort of diagonal way. When you finish that, you're going to grab your palette knife again and you're going to pick the colour that you're going to use to make these bits of detail. Alright, so I just used a brown here, and to make the brown I just mixed my pink, a bit of orange and a bit of blue. Okay, so with your brown, you're just going to use the tip of your palette knife and you're just going to go and make these lines here. So on each diamond you can just do a little V at the bottom of each diamond, and then some of the diamonds you can add an extra brown line to it, just using the top of your knife. And the aim of this picture is to create an abstract effect. So that's why we're using the palette knife and really poppy colours. But you can always go over it if you're not happy with your diamonds and just bring them up a bit more. And then just go over with the palette knife again, so keep working on it. And then bring your brown up into the top of the pineapple as well. Just going to add a little bit of white as well. You can alternate with your paintbrush as well as the knife, just to thicken up your top of your pineapple, and then go over it again with the palette knife. And then as you can see on this side of the pineapple, it's got a bit of shadow and tone in it. So with that, I just grab my paintbrush and I'm just going to use some of this brown and mix it in with the wet paint that's around it, so the orange part, the yellow part. Give it a bit of shadow. If that's all dry, just add a little bit of brown, like the tiniest bit, and work it into the side of your pineapple. Okay, then you can go over the top and bring out these details again, the diamonds. The last bit of our tutorial is to sign our masterpiece. So if you grab your paintbrush or your palette knife, actually I might use my palette knife, and whatever colour you'd like to use. If you don't want it to stand out, just use a colour that's similar to the bottom right hand side, and then do your signature or just your initials. So I think I might just do my initials, A, D, and voila, there you have it, your abstract pineapple, to bring a bit of pop into your life. So just a tip, if you do have a canvas, it'd probably be a great idea to do this on canvas, but canvases are pretty hard to find around the house, so just a piece of paper is fine, as long as it's quite thick paper, so just heavy cartridge paper, that would do the trick. And you'll find that with the paper, it'll buckle a little bit because it's wet, but then when it dries, it looks pretty cool. Well, I hope you had a great time creating your abstract pineapple. Thanks again for joining me for Art with Anna online tutorials, and I hope to see you at the next one. So I'd love to see your abstract pineapple. If you could please share on Art with Anna Facebook page, or send it to me via Illustrated by Anna on Instagram. That would be amazing, and I'd love to share your work. Alright, see you later guys. See you at the next one.